Okay, I'm so happy to be here. A few years ago, something happened to me where I had my first son. My husband was away most of the time on business. We were going through a lot, especially financially, but really emotionally, just everything was falling apart. And I had this dream, which it happened while I was sleeping, but it wasn't really a dream because it was so significant that I was somewhere else, where I was standing behind a podium in like what seemed like a cement room. But in front of me, there was this huge light, and I couldn't see what was behind the light. It was just a light. And I was negotiating my life. I was basically like saying, I need more time. I don't care about the money. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I just want health. I want protection. I want guidance. I want to have another baby, maybe a girl, maybe another boy. I want to live my life, just give me health, give me protection, give my husband health, protection, my children, and everything else, just bring it, I'll take it. Just bring it on. But, this is what I need. I need more time. And I woke up from that dream, or from that state, and I called my husband, and I was telling him what is going on. A bunch of truths came to light that turned everything around in our life. And although it felt like it started to fall apart for days after, because things were only seemed like they were getting worse, it just started to turn around right after that. And everything changed the entire course of my life, even like my blood work. Everything changed. And I want to know, who was I negotiating with?
Well, this will be very easy for you to understand. So we're going to approach it in a way that is a little different than what you're expecting, and then we'll come right back around to what you're talking about. When you are living contrast in your life, every bit of that exposure to life that you don't like causes you to launch an equivalent rocket of desire about what you do want. So hard life is creating powerful and improved vibrational reality. But often the hard life that you're living is so steady because your point of attraction is so strong, because you're living it so you believe it, and you believe it so you get more, and then you get more, and so you believe it, and so it's sort of a cycle that is hard to break out of. So it just continues and gets worse, because whatever you got going on vibrationally becomes more and more and more and more. So with each subsequent hardship that you attracted, you launched another rocket of desire for clarity and improvement. So your life experience is parlaying. The worse it gets, the more you're asking, and so forth. So while this improved life was always available to you, you were not allowing it to be available to you because you were so hard living life, so focused upon the life you were living. Now, did you hear us say, as we began here today, we said it just now in another way, that the thing that trips you up, or that causes you to prevent improved life, is your attention to what is. Your attention to what is holds you in a holding pattern that doesn't allow the improvement that your life experience has actually called for. Do you get that? Can you sort of hear that? So your hardship is causing a vibrational improved life that your attention to your hardship is not letting you go to. And then a wonderful thing happened. You went to sleep. And in your sleep state, the resistance subsided, and your desire was dominant, and you were able to translate your desire. Now, there are some things that we want to point out to here, because you've heard us say things like this before, and this is the leading edge conversation that you're bringing to this arena. We said earlier today that there's your desire and there's your belief, and sometimes they're battling each other. You want this, but you believe this, and as long as you believe this, you can't get this, even though the desire was born out of knowing what you don't want. You following all of that? Whatever vibration is dominant is the direction that your life is going. By that we mean, if you have a strong desire, it doesn't matter what your belief is, your desire will triumph. It's just a hard life. So it does improve, but it doesn't improve at a very fast rate because you keep not letting it improve. So that was what was going on with you. You were facing reality with such fervor that even though you were launching all kinds of rockets and you'd created a much better vibrational reality that gave you the potential of a much more wondrous life experience, because in your wake state you weren't allowing it, then your inner being guided you through the path of least resistance to a dream. Is this all making some sense? So now some further clarification. We'd like to clean things up as we go. You are never negotiating with anyone like pleading for your life. There's never a counsel that's saying, well, we've got all these things that make us decide this. There's never anything like that. But remember what we said earlier about the vehicle and the vehicle and the vehicle and the vehicle. That dream was as close as you could get to expecting things to get better. You didn't know then that you are the creator of your own reality. Then you thought that you had to get on your knees and beg for mercy from someone who might give you a good judgment and might give you a bad judgment. But that dream was enough that it caused you to break loose. You know what it made you do? That dream caused you to realize how much you wanted not just life, but lovely life. So there's no negotiating going on. There's just you living life and offering a vibration and getting the results of the vibration that you offer. Oh, isn't it nice to know that your inner being will take you as far as you'll let yourself go, and then you'll live more life, and then your inner being will again take you as far as you'll let yourself go. And conversations like this, do you have any idea how far you are letting yourself go by knowing what you are knowing right now? Are you understanding that so much of the resistance that you've been walking around with is lifting just as you feel resonance with this knowledge that your inner being holds about you? Yeah. 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 So maybe you could say that life causes you to negotiate because you know what you don't want and you know what you do want. But the difference that we really want you to take away from this conversation is no one outside of you is holding the letting you go or not letting you go, because there is no assertion. Even that which you want to call God is not asserting into your experience, just wanting well-being for you, and you have to find a way of letting it in.
So we create as we go along.
You create as you go. 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 You create as you go.
I have one more question. So the next question is more of a technical question about meditation. I find that when I meditate, there's times that I'm all over the place and thoughts just come in and out, and I'm like, okay, no problem, start all over, and but then there are times that I just go into this place of knowing, and all of these brilliant thoughts start coming through my mind, and it just like aha moments, like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, or just all these things that make so much sense. And when I come out of the meditation, I forgot everything.
Well, it's all right, because you see, the most effective utilization of meditation is not a period of time in which you will receive information, because the question and the answer have to have some separation. And so what meditation is a process or a function that allows your vibration to rise, which then gives you access in your wake state to whatever you're focused upon. Now, it's lovely when these thoughts begin to float. Jerry always told the story about, he was an entertainer, and one night he was with a man who was high on something and sort of lost his balance and laid in the grass and babbled nonsense. And when he came out of it, he was sure that he had given the secrets to the universe to those of them that were there, because that's what it felt like to him, but nothing came out of his mouth that had made any sense at all. So what we're getting at is that meditation is the releasing of resistance and the allowing of the rising of vibration. So it's completely logical to us that in that state of alignment that these thoughts would begin to flow, and it's a wonderful thing. Our encouragement is to not try to make that something that you remember, not the details of it, but that you remember the experience of alignment, that you remember the feeling of clarity, and therefore you come to expect that feeling of clarity. Also, we are not suggesting that your future experience in a state of meditation will not be when you receive a whole lot of things. You can get to that place and sit with a recorder or a keyboard, and you can in real time record what you're receiving. So we're not saying that meditation is off limits to reception. That's not what we're saying at all. We're just saying that meditation is the gateway to alignment, and alignment is then when all the good stuff starts coming.
Thank you so much.